So, hey, look, my bag of chips. Just wondering where my chips went. Anyways.
Charlie, you want to explain yourself?
I did something very bad.
You ready to talk about this Nova outside?
Heck yeah, let's do this. So I'm gonna give you guys a rundown on what all we've done to this 66 Chevy 2 Nova. So starting off, obviously you can see we built an entire lip kit around the entire bottom of the car. We've narrowed the bumpers front and rear. Obviously made full air ducts going straight to the brakes. 66 originally had an aluminum piece that went around here as the bezel. Everybody has that. We wanted something completely different. So you come into the small little details, machined a little piece on the lathe, made all this out of sheet metal, TIG welded those off on the backside, countersunk the screws, probably 30 hours each one of these little pieces. So that little detail, you can't just go buy that. So back to the fender. So we've got the honeycomb design laser cut for us, and it's throughout as a theme throughout the entire car. We've laid the fender in kind of like an F1 style, just as a cool little feature, something different. If you notice, the door gap here matches the rear door gap. 66, 67 Chevy 2 Novas, the door actually comes to a point and then back out. So we've actually cut, rotted, welded, and made the gaps symmetrical front and rear. Mirrors are out of Canada. It's a solid piece of urethane, and you basically just grind the backside of it. We set our contours and drilled and tapped the inside of it, and man, they do fantastic. Coming back towards the back of the car, running Detroit Speed mini tubs. It has a full TCI front suspension, TCI rear suspension. Of course, the lip kit keeps coming all the way around the car. The color is a root beer pearl from House of Color. So it's just a killer color out in the sun. Will Wood hooked us up with some awesome brakes. This thing just performs fantastic on the road course to daily driving like the owner does. We always run Borla mufflers. Just love the performance, the sound. It just gives you this very quiet rumble at idle, but as soon as you give it some throttle, man, it's remarkable. Just a fantastic muffler. It's running 3-inch all the way out the back, running Vibra Performance resonators right before the center exit exhaust. As you can see on the rear bumper, we've modified and brought these, are basically factory, but we just made them way bigger than they were factory to recess the license plate in, tied it all into the bottom side there. If you go back to the taillight, there's actually a bezel that we have actually fabricated, molded in, so all we have is 2 tinted lenses that drop right inside there with LEDs behind those. Deck lid, small little spoiler on the back. It's molded into the top of the quarter panels. We didn't really know how big to go. We had it way bigger than this, and it just didn't match the character of the car. So we were like, man, we just need to cut some back, and we took actually 2 inches off of it and gave it a little bit of a rake, and man, it just came out beautiful. Front and rear glass is actually real glass. It is not an acrylic. It's not any kind of plastic. It is real glass. Yes, this is a show car. It is a race car. We do need windshield wipers. So we do drive this thing. The customer drives this thing, whether he gets stuck in a big huge rain shower or whatnot. So we put wipers pretty much on everything unless it's going to be a straight show car. So if you look at the motor here, the entire engine cover started out in about 26 pieces of sheet metal. Then we had TIG welded all together, got everything hammer formed out, and man, it just came out awesome. It's not much fun changing the oil because you have to pull the whole piece off, but man, it's totally worth it when somebody walks up to it, and it's just super clean, simple. Cut the whole firewall out, recessed the whole firewall back about 1.5 inches just to give us clearance on the backside of the LS motor and just give us a very uniform, simple look. Motor is a GM Performance LS3, 430 horse, backed with a Bowler TKO 600 transmission, 9-inch posi in the rear, running 373 gears. Just the power to weight ratio is phenomenal in this little car. You can see the grille. We wanted to do something a little bit different than obviously anybody else has ever done. So yet again, more honeycomb. Honeycomb is just so popular, and we just put our own twist on it. And so we had these all water jetted out, and the sides were laser because they're a little bit thicker, but these are water jetted for a little bit cleaner look for us. And then this piece is actually sheet metal that I hand fabricated the whole bezel all the way around, and it needed something to break up all of that thick honeycomb in the middle. And then behind all of our grills and pretty much every car we build, we like to black everything out so you just don't see that, and it just gives it more of an appealing look versus you seeing AC lines and a dryer and an AC condenser or a radiator. It's just one more little special touch we like to do on all our cars. If you notice the hood latches are quick latches. We pretty much run these in almost every one of our builds just for the fact that they're simple, they're clean. We actually 3D print and design if you want to run them inverted. So say you wanted to basically put the pin on this side and you didn't want to see the hood pin on the top side. You can actually run the pin down and you actually reach through the grill and actually push the button to release it. So pretty cool feature. If you're interested in that, holler at us. We'll make a video on that as well. So look inside the car, H&H Custom Upholstery. They're about 20 minutes up the road from us. They've done countless upholstery jobs for us, full interiors to just seats and different odd ends, but man, they just knocked it out of the park on this build. So we wanted to keep that pro touring, just super modern race car luxury theme going throughout, from basically front to back of the car as well as the inside. The trunk is pretty much wrapped in the exact same way. This is ultra leather with the suede inserts. So Brett, man, he just is phenomenal and very, very talented. I'll give you a quick little rundown here on the inside. So inside the cockpit here, we wanted something that was basically going to try to wrap around us. I'm not a fan, me personally, of a console that's really high, that's coming back where it looks like it's hiding a bunch of stuff. I wanted to keep it pretty much low, race car themed. So Dakota Digital hooked us up with this, of course running vintage air, with the AC heat defrost. Running a Forever Sharp steering wheel, which is a pretty generic steering wheel. I get it. For a race car, it's a generic steering wheel. But that's what we got, and it's fantastic, and it works great, so enjoy it. All the AC vents we actually made in-house. They're all 3D printed out of polycarbonate. So holler at us if you're interested in that. We'll make a video on that, I'm sure, at some point. Ring Brothers shifter. It's just super awesome to grab. Very comfortable, lightweight, very sleek. It matches the pedals, all the pedal assembly. Little cool feature. So Steve, the owner, was like, man, I really like enjoying my wife's car, and I wanted something to be able to put my foot on while I'm driving. So, of course, Brett made a little footrest. So you can get your foot off the clutch. Bam, there you go. You got your little footrest. This whole panel moves back. So there's your ignition switch. Right here is your window switches. So you basically just take this panel, slide it back forward, ready to go. You might ask, man, how does this shifter work? Well, the whole plate moves. You don't see that every day. Pretty awesome. Console, of course, it lifts up. Hey, look, my bag of chips. Just wondering where my chips went. Anyways, so that pretty much wraps up the interior. Just a very simple hot rod complex theme all at the same time. Race car. So like us, share us, follow us, subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Cody, are you ready to film a walkthrough of the NOVATRON?
Let's do it.